What up, what up, what up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition of the Hot Corner. I'm Dorian Zavala, and of course, I'm always joined by Rafa and Matt. You guys, say what's up.
What's up?
What's up? How's it going?
Yeah, so what a great weekend in sports. We had the NBA Finals. We had week 4 of the NFL, the ending of the NHL season, and the beginning of the baseball season. But first, we're going to start off with one of our favorite segments, Idiot of the Week. Matt, take over, bro.
All right. So for me, Idiot of the Week is professional athlete relationships. They're a horrible idea. I don't know why people still get into them. So I'm going to start with, for me, this one was with Danica Patrick and Aaron Rodgers. They were dating for 2 years and things ended kind of ugly, but it was like one of those classic like press release things where it's like, how can you say someone sucks without saying they suck? And I thought Danica did a great job. So she had some quotes. She went on the Rachel Hollis show and said that after dating Aaron Rodgers, her standards are off the chart. And like literally my favorite quote of all time, which is like the definition of passive aggressive. She said, in relationships, what she learned was you either grow together, one grows and one doesn't, or you grow apart. And I've never experienced growth without pain, which is just saying like, okay, so you suck. And it seems like you made my life miserable. And the only way I'm able to move on from this and learn from this is because you made my life miserable. And then Aaron Rodgers, a little while back, said over like, because of the relationship, went on the Pat McAfee show. And he said, I have just a new and increased love of life. So it sounds like if you want to make your life less miserable, make sure you go through a miserable time. And nothing says this human sucked, like this human ruined my life. This human just controlled everything. It made my life go completely downhill, like saying you have a new love for life. Like no one says that unless someone went through some deep stuff. Like when someone just was every day just seemed like a struggle to wake up. So that's my Idiot of the Week, professional athlete relationships.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? That it kind of makes it. Well, Aaron Rodgers always has this, right? Like his brother and his family don't speak to him and all that. So he has some issues. Rafa, you want to take over for your Idiot of the Week?
You go to Carlos Correa from the Houston Astros for running his mouth after they defeated the Twins. They beat the Twins, they eliminated them, and then he went on Twitter saying how like we won now what are people going to say? So kind of calling out the fans and stuff for for that whole cheating scandal.
He's calling us out.
Yeah. But and then CC Sabathia comes out of nowhere, kind of puts him in his place. Like, man, like, so you guys cheated, and we're not supposed to be mad at you guys. Like, you guys won a 3-game series. Like, calm down. And so that's and you being a Dodger fan, like, I want to know what you think about that.
I honestly want to see him. He was talking about getting into the UFC and all of that clown. I want to see him get into the UFC. Give him the lowest guy in the UFC. Don't even give him the big names. Give him the lowest guy, and I'll pay $100 to see this guy get his ass beat up and down that cage. I promise.
I wouldn't mind seeing him and CM Punk go at it.
You know what though? CM Punk might lose that one, bro. So
really,
let's choose somebody else because I really think he might lose that one, bro.
Oh wow! Damn.
All right, so my Idiot of the Week falls to 3 people actually. I'm sorry, 3 people, and it all revolves in the same game with the same team. My first one is Idiot of the Week, Anthony Davis. Come on, bro. 5 points in the first half? I mean, I get you got in foul trouble, but you're supposed to be Anthony Davis. I mean, come on, man. 5 points, that is not how you win things. And he's done this before in the Rocket series. He fell apart as well in one of the games where he decided not to show up and we lost. I mean, when that guy doesn't show up, LeBron's not going to do it. He's 36. He's 35. The dude's already showing his age, whether he's balling, but he's not jumping and balling like he was 4 years ago, 5 years ago. You can tell that right away. My second Idiot of the Week are the refs, because Lakers, honest to God, as horrible as they played, They were only down by 4 going into the half. The refs dragged the Miami Heat to a win. They basically dragged them to game 4. Because this series should be 3-0, and there's no way in heck that these dudes should even be in the same level as the Lakers. No way. But referees being referees, thinking that people are there to see them instead of, the players. And then Anthony Davis just like not trying. He didn't try. He's better than this. And my third ones are those god awful, ridiculous ass Laker fans who created a petition to exclude Kyle Kuzma out of a championship ring. Are you kidding me? What in the hell is going on with you guys? For real. Thinking that Kyle Kuzma doesn't deserve a ring? Come on, man. That's pathetic. That's pathetic. That's terrible. And I don't know what was going through these people's heads thinking that they were going to do that and people were actually going to support. Like those are not real Laker fans. They just, you can't root against your team. You have who you have. Now, do I think that maybe Brandon Ingram should have stayed and Kuzma should have gone? Yeah. I'm one of those that does, but it's just I find it terrible. Those aren't real Laker fans. Those are my 3 idiots of the week. But we'll keep moving on, and we're gonna start off with covering the NFL.
We could start talking about the Lakers a little. We could talk about that game now that we're just like on the topic of it.
Well, there's really nothing much to say. They didn't show up yesterday.
It's bad. Yeah, it's bad when Danny Green, KCP, Rondo, and Caruso go 4 for 23, and then J.R. Smith has more 3-pointers than Danny Green. Danny Green shoots like the hoop is the size of a wedding ring. This guy cannot make shots. I think even the game they won, game 2, it was like third quarter, bricks, ball comes right back to him, bricks again, and it's just too easy. He is a bum. He is a certified bum.
KCP didn't show up. Danny Green didn't show up. Anthony Davis didn't show up. LeBron showed up, but there was instances where you can tell he gives up on the play. Like he's just like, whatever. He, instead of getting a rebound, getting something, he just, whatever. We'll keep him moving.
But I seen on social media, like Laker fans are definitely going in on Danny Green, like since the beginning of the playoffs.
He hasn't shown up. He hasn't shown up. Where's Danny Green from Toronto? Where's the Danny Green from San Antonio? He hasn't shown up. We want him to show up, and he's. I don't know what to say. I have to cut myself off because this is when I would usually cuss, but we can't do that here. So I have to really cut myself off, and that's why it sounds like audio issues or something. But yeah, it's tough. But you know what? As a Laker fan, I'm mad about yesterday's performance by them. It was a terrible look. But you also got to give it up to Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's
40-point triple-double is not easy. Yeah.
The dude is willing that team, along with the refs, along with the help of the refs, he is willing that team into another level, and it's great. But I'm gonna also say this. Tyler Hero, stop it with that look, man. Stop it with that look.
Hey man, he has confidence right now,
You know what I'm saying? Damian Lillard did that. He went out, got bounced out right away. Houston did the same thing, got bounced out. And then Denver did that little shimmy thing. They got bounced out. Tyler, don't wake up the beast, man. Don't wake up the beast. Don't do that, especially when you only had like 12 points. Kick back.
Yeah, one of the Tyler Hero quotes from like earlier this past week was he knows every single draft pick before him, and he was mad about that. Like, athletes are psychos. They're like, how can you get mad that you're drafted top 13?
Yeah, he made it exactly. He made it seem like being drafted top 13 overall is like the worst thing in the world. Like, I remember everybody that got drafted before me. It's like, dude, you got drafted 13th. Like, you make it seem like you got drafted like 3rd round or went undrafted or something,
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas said, like, he quote tweeted it. and said, imagine because he was the last pick of the draft during his year, and he was like, just imagine trying to remember 59. So like put it in perspective. That was funny. That was a little tidbit, and it was like, yeah, you have to remember that you are considered the 13th. But like beyond me, athletes are psychos. I think people are starting to understand how much a psychopaths athletes actually are.
They really are. They have to find. They'll find anything to get motivated by. Late great Kobe Bryant. He was pissed because he got drafted so low. He said, I'm gonna kill everybody that I face, and sure enough, everybody that he faced looked him on the court. So, I mean, it's something that these athletes do to motivate themselves, find some sort of motivation. Because honestly, think about it too. When you know you're that damn good, like above most of your peers in the NBA, you got to find something to keep you motivated, because you can't let that idea seep in your head, knowing, because you already know you're better, but you can't let yourself to think that way as an athlete, because then that's when the downfall happens. So they find anything to motivate themselves, which is awesome. I enjoy it. I really do. I like those athletes like Jimmy Butler. Love that dude's tenacity. It's great. Here's the other one. Now moving on to football. Let's move on to football now. Let's talk about the Rams against the Giants. Another terrible game by my team. We lucked out and got the win at the last minute of the game with an interception at the 5 by our rookie. But I mean, honestly, man, we should have ran through these guys. The defense is terrible, but we couldn't. Not a good showing defensively, not a good showing offensively. We need to shore up that offensive line. We need to get better receivers, and we need a running back. My God, do we need a running back badly? What do you guys think?
Well, at least you guys got the win. I can't say the same for my team. Man, I don't want to. We'll get to that in a bit, but like I said, the NFC West is going to be. You already know it's going to be tough. They don't call it the NFC best for no reason.
Right. So. Right. The best division in football.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do it, Matt. What you think?
I mean, that game was crazy. That was like it got crazy at the end. I want to tap into that a little, but that was a snooze fest. Like, that reminded me of the Super Bowl from a couple years ago, where it was like I was watching on my couch, I was eating some chips, and I blinked, and it was already the second half. And it was that was completely boring. I think what a lot of Rams fans are forgetting or a lot of Giants fans are forgetting, is that your kicker literally had the most points on the field that day. Even if he missed the field goal, he still would have had the most points on the field. So the Giants have absolutely no run game. Now that Saquon Barkley's hurt, they tried Devontae Freeman. That didn't do much. Wayne Gallman wasn't much. And that was a boring game. So the bright side, like, cheer you up, Dorian. We know that the Rams, their defense showed out. We know that their defensive line. So, I mean, in football, you got to win the trenches. I mean, that's kind of a cliche, but you got to win what's happening up front in that battle. So they won the battle up front. So that's something positive. But I think Sean McVay is a smart guy, but he's too smart for himself.
I think he needs to relinquish the play calling. I think he needs to find himself an offensive coordinator. He has one, but it's like a title he gave to somebody. He's the one calling the plays. He's the one running the offense. I think he needs to cut back on that. I really do. Or just quit being a head coach and go be an offensive coordinator and let somebody else come in. I mean, he can't do both. Obviously, it's not looking good offensively when you can't run the ball as well as we used to, like 2 years ago when we did it with Todd and we were running up everywhere. Because when our game plan, if we don't have a running game, we don't have anything. We just don't. So moving on now to the Charger game.
Ooh, we have to talk about the headline of the week, though.
What is it?
Jalen Ramsey and Golden Tate.
Oh, yeah.
We're forgetting that. So to catch everybody up that's listening right now that's not aware, so Jalen Ramsey was married to Golden Tate's sister, Breonna Tate.
Not married. They just had a kid. He left her when she was pregnant. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, so had two kids together. Jalen Ramsey cheated on her, or so this is apparently. So these are just according to sources, has not been confirmed from Jalen Ramsey. But so pretty much he cheated on on Brianna Tate while she was pregnant with their second kid, and with a dancer in Vegas. And like I looked at her Instagram, and she didn't really seem like a stripper. But Vegas, like if you go into it with Vegas dancer, that's your headline. I immediately think stripper. So this was crazy. So Jalen, it was brought up last year with Golden Tate. And he was saying that Jalen Ramsey's going to have, because a fan asked him about it October of last year. This was almost a year ago. Fan asked Golden Tate what he's going to think. Golden Tate said, well, Jalen Ramsey's going to have to see me. And Jalen Ramsey saw him, and it was when his shoulder was literally pile driving Golden Tate like through the earth.
Yeah, that was a great hit.
I mean, you felt it like going into the Earth's mantle. He just put a shoulder in and was driving down. It was an awesome play. Beat off just literally. Wow, pause. Beat up Dion Lewis, who was blocking him right there.
Right.
And and then what it led to a fight at the end. But like you could tell the Rams were jazzed up because that was like in the next drive. So that was on a third down. The Giants go 3-and-out. Next drive, Rams score to make it 17. And you could tell the team was fired up, got them going. And then the broadcasters were like, all right, there's a little bit of tension. And I looked it up and I was like, because I had no idea about this. So, yeah, I want to hear what you guys have to think about the scuffle that resolved after.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've seen pictures and a couple of video snippets and stuff like that. It almost looks like both teams created a circle and just went, have it out. There's no fans. There's no nothing. Just go at it.
Just let them go. They're just talking,
right? Because when you look, honestly, I've looked it up and everything, and it looks like it's a circle. Like they just created a circle and they just went, all right, have it out. There's no fans. There's no anything. No one's going to know anything. Just go at it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what it looked like to me. What do you guys think? Did you guys look at anything like that?
Yeah, I didn't see anything. So it's like, all right, so we're going to put, I thought it was funny, like all the linemen are surrounding them. So we're going to put our biggest guys and just make sure nobody else sees what's going on. And like you said, like it was like forming a tent around them.
Right.
Yeah. Like, hey, like, make sure no one sees and just go at it real quick, And it kind of reminded me of that scene from the other guys when they're at the funeral and they're like surrounded. They're all quiet. Go do it.
It does. It does remind me of that. It does, but I mean, that's what I saw. Look, we don't know enough to know to throw the shade either at Jalen or at Golden. Golden was stepping up for her sister. Jalen was probably like, you nosy little shit. Oh, oops, sorry. You nosy little person, get away, all that. But yeah, I mean, there's not enough here. All I know is that whole thing that you were talking about, Matt, happened. And I remember that tweet where he's going to have to see me on the field, and they saw each other on the field. And I was sorry to say, Jalen won that one.
Yeah. I mean,
Jalen won that one.
Yeah. Like while we're wrapping up with this, I thought the funniest part of this whole thing is that when, cause we're going on Twitter to check everything, and every single article had Golden Tate posing with his girl in MAGA hats. And I mean, I don't want to bring politics into this, but it was like, as soon as it's just so funny. It's like Jalen Ramsey cheated on Golden Tate's sister while she was pregnant. And because Golden Tate's wearing the MAGA hat, he's the bad guy. Like he's the one. And like, oh, he deserved it. So that's Twitter. Twitter's just crazy.
Twitter's a joke.
But like, why? Like, well, the other part of me is like, Jalen, why are you so mad? You're the one that cheated on his sister. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
but we don't know if he did. We don't know if he did. That's the thing right there too, is we don't know if he did. Like everybody's gonna say, like, oh no, he did. How do we know? No one knows.
I think it's bulletin board material for Jalen to spin it and be like, okay, it's Golden Tate's fault. The reason why I accordingly cheat on his sister. That's like Tyler Hero, like 12th or like 13th overall bulletin material. Same for Ramsey, like Golden Tate's fault that I cheated on his sister.
Right.
while she was pregnant.
And so now let's move on to the Charger game. What do you guys think about that? Tom Brady looked phenomenal, man.
Man, I feel like it was a tale of two halves for Tom Brady.
Right, right.
He struggled a lot in the first half, but he's Tom Brady. He's
You
not
you
gonna.
think it's for the
It's hard. It's almost impossible to just keep him like that. He's gonna
Right.
ball out regardless.
Right.
So, 5 touchdowns. You gotta be kidding.
If he's playing like this in only 4 weeks in a brand new playbook, I can't imagine once they get into December, bro, how he's gonna look. That's gonna be some scary stuff for the NFC South for sure. Because that dude has got receivers now. Something he didn't have in New England. He has receivers now. So, and he's got 3 great tight ends. He's got Gronk, OJ Howard, and everybody forgot about Cameron Brate, but he showed up this Sunday.
Hey, dude, Mike Evans is balling out too.
Yeah, Mike Evans is balling out. But that dude lives on the IR, man.
Oh yeah,
He got
injured that game. He was injured. I think he twisted like his ankle or something.
And last game he messed up his knee, and then week 2 he had a full calf. I mean, the guy is he gets hurt a lot, but when he's out there,
I'm gonna disagree with one thing, like the Rob Gronkowski part, because Gronk has nothing to do with that offense. That guy literally is just a body there. And with another
he's a decoy, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, all right, we're gonna, that's actually smart. Maybe I tricked myself. So maybe he's smart. He's like, okay, I'm gonna make you think I'm like the Patriots me in like 2015 and 2014 when I was leading the league and people were calling me the greatest tight end ever. So I'm gonna make you think that, just like you said, just to put a body on me to open up other guys. But Brady threw 5 touchdowns to 5 different receivers.
Right.
Yeah.
And actually, he threw 6 touchdowns. One of them was to the Chargers, but I mean, besides that pick 6, Brady looked phenomenal throughout the day. He was really consistent. But the quarterback, I think, that impressed me more was Justin Herbert, I think.
Yeah. No, yeah. Oh, bro, they got a quarterback there, bro.
Yeah.
They got a quarterback for the future right there.
He makes a couple like rookie mistakes, but
yeah,
those are rookie mistakes.
Yeah.
He'll learn from it.
Yeah, definitely.
He got hit again instead of sliding.
Oh,
he needs to stop that.
Hey, did you see Anthony Lynn's face when they showed it right after that hit? I mean, the guy looked like your parents when you do something stupid and they're about to beat you up. That's the look Anthony Lynn gave that dude after that bone hit. Like he should have slid there. Instead he gets hit, and it's like, what you gonna do in that, boy?
Yeah. Anthony Lynn, all-time moron with the play. Like, we're talking about Sean McVay bad with play calling. Anthony Lynn. So he goes on to, like, Herbert showing that he's impressive. Herbert on the day went 20 for 25, 290 yards, 3 tugs. But they were sticking to the run game, like, throughout the rest of the game. Like, Austin Eckler, that's something you should know. Austin Eckler gets hurt early on.
Right.
Then they start going back. But they were, like, going through the run game like he was still there. Justin Jackson and Josh Kelly go 15 carries with 16 yards.
Man, Josh Kelly, though, Josh Kelly's going to be a beast. He's a rookie, too. He's going to be a beast, though. But that dude needs to stop leaving the air the way he does all the time and getting hit. That's how he got hurt at UCLA, and he's going to get caught even worse here. So, yeah, that's something that he's got to work on. But if Kelly stays healthy, he's going to be a big part of that offense because that kid can ball, man. He can ball. So now we move on to our boys up north. Sunday Night Football, the 49ers. Rafa, take it over.
Oh, man. Where do I start? Hey, Brandon Ayuk's play was right there, man. That hurdle. And then they showed that little clip of him doing it
in practice in college, right?
Yeah, just like that. Just straight up, jumps over the dude.
Yeah, not even a head run. It's like a yard. You only have like a yard space, and like
they were facing off, and then he just jumps over him. I was like, wow. But, he's gonna be explosive.
No, Brandon.
Yeah. But Niners, they should have won that game. Man, Mullins, I don't know what he was thinking, man. I think after halftime, he thought that we were wearing white jerseys because I'm telling you, those interceptions, Like, how do you miss a 250+ pound dude like right in front of you? He literally threw it right at him. Like, it was like the guy didn't even move. He just picked up his hands and he just ran it in. So yeah, they're just, I'm glad we got George Kittle back. He balled out. We got Deebo Samuel back.
Right.
But we still have a lot of injuries. A lot. Bosa out for the year. Mostert, I don't know when he's gonna come back. Hopefully he comes back against the Dolphins. But Jimmy Garoppolo, I thought he was gonna start against the Eagles, but I guess not. So
I mean, I knew going into this, you guys were gonna get the L. One, because you guys still have too many injuries on your squad. Two, you don't have a quarterback. But most importantly, the Eagles were due for a win. They were due for a win. In that division, each team's only gonna win like 6-7 games tops.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, how is it fair that the NFC East is gonna host a playoff game?
Right. No,
that's what I'm telling you. Like, they have to change the format.
Yeah,
I agree 100% that they have to change the format.
Oh, definitely.
A 6-7 win team host a home game in the playoffs against and this happened before, 12-4 team.
Right.
It's unfair.
So now we're gonna move on to our last subject, and of course, it's the team that I'm wearing right now, the Dodgers. We take on the Padres starting tomorrow at 6:00. Be honest with you guys, I'm not nervous, but I'm a little worried because the Padres are not slouches, man. They're a good team. They have no pitching, unfortunately, right now. Clevenger is still up in the air. Lament is still up in the air for them, so we don't know. And Zach Davies and forgot the other dude's name. Doesn't matter. Who cares? They're not enough to contain us and contain the home run pop we have. But that lineup, man, it's no joke. Tatis, Machado, those guys are no joke. Hosmer, everybody says Hosmer's washed up. Where, man? Like, Hosmer was just hurt this year, and we had a short season. But if you really look at his numbers, the dude was starting to climb back up before he got hurt. So it's troublesome, man. It's troublesome. Those dudes can hit out there. Grisham, who has had his troubles in the playoffs before, but I mean, the kid can ball too. So for me, I have the Dodgers. I have the Dodgers in 5. I think it's gonna go all 5 games. The Padres are too good, man. Our bullpen is great, but we have Walker, we have Kershaw, and then we have May. And then after that, it's kind of like, all right, we'll toss the bullpen at them because we have a lot of hands and a lot of arms. But I mean, Julio, I've always said Julio needs to be in the bullpen and not as a starter. I'll still stick to that until I see otherwise. Then I'll eat my words. But so far, the kid has got a cannon. The kid can pitch, but you see him after the 4th inning, he starts to struggle a lot. There's games where he'll go 7 innings and you can't hit him, but for the most part, he tends to struggle after the 4th inning, gives up a couple runs. With a team like this, who with the bases loaded can just smack one out. Next thing you know, the game is tied. It's a little bit worrisome, and the main thing that really has me worried is Kenley Jansen. I mean, he can't be our closer anymore. I understand Dave Roberts has got loyalty to this team and loyalty to his players, and we love him for that. But he's got to see things clearly, and Kenley's not a closer anymore. He hasn't been for the last 2 years. His cutter speed is fallen dramatically from the beginning of the season, which was at 96.8. Now it's clocked in at 89, which is it's not looking good. And I don't know. Dave has to switch up a lot of things on that. But I do have the Dodgers moving on. Dodgers in 5. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I think you keyed on like the last note you were saying right there about Canley, and that was a little bit scary how you had 2 games in a row where the Dodgers could have easily used Canley, but they didn't. They had Blake Trinan come in, and even to get Canley, like game 1, like where Buehler only goes 4, they had Urias go, like, let me see. Yeah, he went 3 innings, gave up no earned runs, and had like 6 Ks. So it's like they're not really giving him the opportunities, and that's what scares me. But as far as I think the thing that scares me more and the most is the offense. I mean, that was not pretty. When game 1, Muncy, Turner, and Bellinger go 1 for 6, and game 2, Muncy, Turner, and Bellinger go 1 for 10.
Right.
That's, you will, like, when it comes to a slugfest, like we saw the Padres in game 2, where Tatis hits 2 bombs late, and then Machado hits bombs late.
And then Will Myers hits bombs late.
Exactly. So when it comes to a slugfest, I think if it's a pitching duel, our starters could go toe-to-toe with anyone. But if it's a slugfest, I have to take the Padres in it.
Yeah. No, I'm as much as it pains me to say that, I'm with you on that, because I just Cody hasn't been Cody this year. He just hasn't played like an MVP. He hasn't even played like before he was an MVP. He's struggling, and he doesn't have a good batting average when the playoffs start. So that's a little worrisome. But Kenley, man, Kenley's a guy that really scares me, because if we have a 2-run lead and we had a closer, I wouldn't be worried. But going into these games, we have a 2-run lead, and then you throw Kenley out there. It's hard, man. For us Dodgers fans, it's like we have our heart in our throat, and it's just like, please don't mess this up. But Rafa, what do you think?
Well, I'm still kind of mad. I'm an Angels fan, so I'm still kind of mad that you guys didn't let us sweep you, so we could actually get to the playoffs and not let Houston in. But yeah, honestly, I feel like it is gonna go 5. I have the edge for the Dodgers just because of experience. I mean, they've been there before.
Right.
But the Padres are going in there with confidence. Like I feel like they have the momentum going in. Being down big against the Cardinals the first 2 games, and then coming back the second game and beating them, and then actually eventually eliminating the Cardinals. So I feel like the Padres, they do have big bats, but then again, so do the Dodgers.
Right.
You just need. I feel like the Dodgers need to heat up. Like Bellinger, Seager, all those guys. If they come to play, if they hit, then I do see the Dodgers.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And now moving on to one last thing before we get out of here. The boxing matches this past weekend. Ooh. Oh boy. Man, did you catch any of those, boy?
Oh, dude, yeah. That
this is all you guys.
You didn't catch, bro. You need to get on this, and you need to get on this fast. Since we've been in quarantine, and boxing and MMA were the first sports back, UFC dropped the ball a lot the last 2 weeks, but they have been excellent fights, man.
This last Saturday, it was Cepeda versus Dorianchenko or something like that.
Dorianchenko.
Yeah. It was 8 total knockdowns plus the knockout. They knocked each other down 8, the total of 8 times, including the knockout. That was a war.
It reminded me that war reminded me of the battle between Pacquiao and Marquez, the first one, where it ended in a draw. But it was just like, But I mean, boxing, October it's gonna, you got major fights. So October starts off, like the big major fight that's gonna be happening is gonna be Lomachenko versus Lopez. And that fight is, I feel like it's pay-per-view like value, but for some reason, and it's good for boxing fans, it's gonna be free. And I just heard that there's gonna be fans there. They're gonna allow fans, but it's not gonna be fans. It's gonna be like first responders. So Bob Arum is gonna give 250 tickets out to first responders and people out there. Awesome.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
So there's gonna be 250 fans there. And then you have the Leo Santa Cruz versus Gervonta Davis. They got switched up from to Halloween, and that's gonna be with fans, and it's gonna be in San Antonio. There's going to be 50% capacity. So that one's going to be a good one. And then our boy, Alexis Rocha, is going to be fighting October 30th on the undercard of the Jaime Munguia.
Can't wait for that one.
So, yeah. So a lot of great fights.
Shout out to Lex. Shout out to Lex and shout out to Lex and Ronnie Rios. Representing Santa Ana like we always do, man. Shout out to those dudes. But give us your predictions on those two fights, man. Who do you think's going to win?
So for Lomachenko Lopez, I have Lomachenko winning. I feel like Lomachenko's style, his angles, his speed, it's just going to be too much for Lopez. Lopez, don't get me wrong, he's fast and he has knockout power. I mean, you've seen it. So it's going to be interesting. But I do have Lomachenko winning. I don't know if it's by knockout. I feel like probably if he does win by knockout, it's probably going to be stoppage, probably like the later rounds, round 10.
TKO?
Yeah.
Okay.
So for Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz, well, Leo Santa Cruz is my boy, so
yeah, gotta go that way.
Yeah, so even though it's gonna be the hardest fight of his career for sure. The good thing is that they're fighting at 130 and not at 135.
Oh, that's good. That works for Leo.
Yeah, but the weird thing about that is both belts are on the line, the 130 and the 135 belt.
How does that work?
I guess they came into an agreement and said both belts on the line. So if Leo wins, he becomes the first Mexican-born 5-division champion.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gotta root for him.
Yeah, so
gotta root
for him. So my prediction is it's gonna be a slugfest because of the style. So I want Leo to win. But if he gets caught by Gervonta, it should be a short night.
All right. Well, so now let's preview our games coming up on Sunday. Matt, between the Rams game and then the Chargers game, who do you got winning between those two games?
Ooh. I haven't looked into it that much, but I would say I think the Rams are gonna be slow. I mean, because judging by the way they played the Giants, I think they're gonna head into the next week slow. And I don't know. I was really entertained by the Chargers game, and I think the biggest thing from that is to start getting pressure up front. I mean, because I think Herbert's going to do his thing. They got to get the rush game going, but everything starts in the trenches. And if they have to get at least 100 to 150 rush, or at least I'll start off at 100. I'll give them a low minimum, but 100 rushing yards, and they need to get pressure on the quarterback. Last game against the Bucs, Tom Brady had like 43 dropbacks, had no sacks, and in general, there was only one tackle for loss. So, but I do like the Chargers having a better game this week than the Rams.
I got the Rams, and I got both the Chargers as well winning. Rafa, what about you?
I'm gonna say, well, I hope the Rams don't win because we're rivals. But I do see the Rams winning, and I feel like I do see the Chargers playing. The thing is, the thing about the Chargers is that they do play good. They play well, but for some reason it's just finishing the game that they have trouble with. So I do see them playing better, but I want to see how they finish the game because they do have trouble closing out games. So.
All right.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers special. I mean, Phillip Rivers was the king at not being able to finish games.
Well, yeah, exactly. So,
right.
But he's doing a better job in Indianapolis.
Phillip Rivers still doing Phillip Rivers things out there in Indianapolis. I saw that, and he's still up to his old antics, talking smack and everything. Love it. All right, guys. Well, this has been our show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for joining us. We'll be here again next Monday at 1:25 for Rafa. For Matt, I'm Dorian signing off. Peace.
Later.